A very pleasant good morning to one and all. Uh, yes, dears, hope you all listened and enjoyed my video one, that is Stylistics and Overview series. In the series, we have seen the growth, origin, development, and the contribution of stylistics, that is the discipline, one of the discipline of linguistic, how it has taken part in a literature, and the theorist and criticism and other structuralist who have been under the form of stylistics theory and their concepts too. On the continuation part of series 1, we are now getting into the series 2 on seeing the rest part of uh, the theorist and the stylistician. In that list, we are now seeing Harold Whitehall. He has affirmed with the theory that is no science beyond mathematics and no criticism beyond linguistics. We could not found a criticism without taking part in a linguistics. There is no science without mathematics. It is generally true. Whenever we are applying for physics, chemistry, botany, zoology, or any of the theory, whenever we are applying, we are always having a formula to execute. So mathematics is like an allied paper which always being influenced with the science. All the science students will surely come across with the mathematics paper. Likewise, criticism is it is generally applicable to literature for all the genres in all the way. What are all the works that has been written by the writers? In some way, in some side, at sometimes such works will be criticized in different categories. So we could not take out criticism is different from a linguistics, and critics could not contain the linguistics aspect. So on seeing the bold study of stylistics, it is always strengthened to linguistics approach, because linguistics consists of five major elements as we have seen, that is phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and stylistics. In the five major categories, stylistics is called as a bold study. It makes the all the critics to strengthen and highlight, especially when we are talking about linguistics approaches. The next stylistician, Michael Halliday. So he have stated in a simple sentence for the definition of stylistics. That is, there is no literary text without style. So we could see a boy, a small boy who was having a book on his lap. So he was viewing the pictures. It is the style of the writer or the creation of a book that makes the young boy to register the picture of apple, banana, ball, cat, cap, likewise. So the picture makes a registration of the boy with the letter C or letter A or letter B, and with the word ball, cap, cat, apple. So this is the style of all the text, from the kids to the young. So from the preliminary, from the KGs to the universities, we could found a different type of texts with a different type of style according to the categories, according to the academics, and according to the educations that they are learning. So we could not found a text that which will not having to carry any sort of or any type of style within it. So the style of making the kid to understand is three major concepts. The one is attraction of the books to the picture, colorful picture, and secondly, the child is learning there, the picture object seems to be a letter called A, and that letter A represents with apple. So however there are so many letters interpret with the A, so here whenever we ask, even at present after grown up also, we just tells A for S apple. We never coming across with aeroplane or aristocrat or astronomy. Likewise, we are not going for any of the other complicated terms. So that apple has registered, that is the style that makes everyone to turn till A is for apple. Next, John McCroskey. So he has brought out some literary languages. He says that all the literary languages are purposefully distortion. So distortion is nothing but misinterpretation of truth in ordinary languages. So generally, if we have failed to understand the language, we could not grade or grasp the exactness or real interpretation of that ordinary, even in the ordinary languages. So when we are considering for the literary text, we always make need and make use of. Yes. Nextly, we are going to see Nils Erik Enquist. So he is the theorist and stylistician who have consolidated and expressed the style of a text which is consistent and depending on the context of information. So such a context of information we call it as a contextual. And secondly, that is the probabilities of linguistics item. So the probabilities of linguistics items, it's nothing than probable livelihood. How the theorists, how the stylisticians have been made that linguistics is a probable livelihood, which is all living in all the literary works and literary writers. So all these linguistians, stylisticians and structuralists or came from the Prague linguistic school. So such Prague linguistic scholars and linguistians are called as Prague linguistics. So the style they have renowned and the style they have formed, it is none other than foregrounding. So once again I'm repeating, it is called foregrounding. As I have projected in the picture, you could see the two pictures, that is it is foregrounding, that is through the imagery we could able to understand the closest to the picture. So the foregrounding is nothing but it is an elements of an image which lies closest to the picture. So we are lying with this few elements, and such elements are having so many picturization explanations. When we are taking the opposite of foregrounding, it is called as a reflexive phrases. So previously we have seen foregrounded expression. So that foregrounded expression has loses its aesthetic value for reader. Whenever we are describing an object, whenever we are describing any scenario or any imagery, so through words, the reader should able to project the imagery through the words. That should be a style of foregrounding. If a reader feels they feels very difficult or such an imagery is not reaching to them on time, so that imagery is called as an opposite of foregrounding and it is called as a reflexive process. It does not give any aesthetic value for the readers. Hence, we can call this foregrounding as an attention calling devices through readers. So we can call this foregrounding as an attention calling devices through readers. So through readers, we are making a literary passage through four emphasizing factors. The first one is repetition, and secondly, emphasize, and thirdly, unexpected lexical collocation, and fourthly, syntactic inversion. The stylistics consists of all these factors in this literary writing. Whenever the writer used to state, they used to have a repetition of a words to emphasize some key factors and make that repetition factor as an important among the readers. And thirdly, unexpected lexical collocation. Lexical collocation is nothing but vocabulary words. Sometimes we could not accept such words will be there. So as I have previously stated, a word of Bible. So word of Bible is simply we used to call as a religious book or religious spreading, emphasizing or preaching holy book. But sometimes that such type of words can be also replaced as a cosmetic effect. So there the book Bible is called as a lexical collocation which has brought out by the writer in an unexpected way. Next, the syntactic inversion. So syntactic inversion is nothing but it is a set of rules which governs words combined with phrases and sentences. We are having so many idioms and also the phrases that forms a sentence. Sat on the fence. So the sat on the fence, it doesn't mean the person want to sit on the wall. It means that whenever we are talking on any point, we should be with same with their with the statement. We should not shift over from one or two or to the next. Whatever the judgment we are giving, we should able to argue and we should able to prove the statement what we are talking on. So that is called sat on it. So likewise, whenever we are talking or whenever we are doing or whenever we are making any of the indirect explanation, the idioms and phrases are highly combined and such sentences will form that we can call it as a syntactic inversion. Apart from the Prague school linguistics, there is the structuralist school of linguistics who have studied a difference between synonymous sentences. Once again, I'm repeating synonymous sentences. So, from our childhood, we just learning of synonyms and antonyms, synonyms and antonyms, synonyms and antonyms. But we are not assured that we will be able to provide meaning for all the words and opposite for all the words. So, there we have every time by the literary writers, through reading the style of the writing, we are able to read different type of synonyms with the different type of synonym sentences. So British School of Linguistics. The next school is British School of Linguistics. So there they originate with J.R. Firth and M.A.K. Halliday. So these two linguistians have brought that language contains several subject systems. So they just stating every language is formed with so many subject system. As like that, linguistics contain one of the subject as a stylistics. Next, the linguistic emphasizes. So, however, literary writers are using linguistics in their writing, they need to emphasize some key factors in their writing. The such key factors are aspects of register, field, mode, context, unit, structure, class, and system. So linguistic always emphasize with these factors. Whenever we are writing some literary content, we should make note of that how the writers have stated the aspects of registering the words and what sort of a field they are taking and what is the mode of the people and what is the context and how they have differentiated the units and structure and how they have taken the class and also the systems. Next, linguistic description of style. So the linguistic description always based on the style of transformational generative grammar. So previously we have heard of this term in series 1 where we came to know that transformational generative grammar is nothing but transforming the sentence from one way to the another way. I got a gift. So the gift was presented by him to her for my birthday. Likewise, we are making the transformation. She received a gift is a different from the gift was she have received the gift which was presented by so and so for her birthday on at. Likewise, we are just having a deep explanation. So there the sentence consists of so many transformation like article, preposition, conjunction, noun phrase, verb phrase, syntactic structure, conjunctions, prepositions. Likewise, we will be having n number of transformation. So such a stylus is called as a transformational generative grammar. Next, surface structure and deep structures. So in general, we used to have a surface structure and deep structure. Surface structure is nothing but we are less learning the sentence in a basic level, in a flat form. So this surface structural represents in a two way. The one is performance and another one is domain of a style. The one is performance and another one is domain of a style. So whenever we are just reading one sentences, we will be reading the sentence only in the surface level. I like this, I like that, he like to take this, he like to go there. So what he likes, where he likes, when he likes, how he likes. Likewise, we just making the sentence from the surface to the deep level. So the first level is surface level and second level is deep level. Yes. Next, Richard Ochman. So Richard Ochman, he just analyzed the techniques of GB star style. For example, we have seen that how GB star has explored his writing style. So in his writing, he have taken a three usage of frequent write-up for his style. Likewise, relativization, conjunction, comparison. So these three things has been used by G.B. Shah for the character, especially Faulkner. So whenever you are just using his characters, all the three things has been majorly find in the writing style of G.B. Shah. He always make a relativization between one character to the another character, and G.B. Shah was highly intellectuals of using conjecture, and he has made some comparison comparison with the characters. And next one is Oman's view, Henry James. So Oman's view, he just brought out an example of Henry James, how Henry James style is different from the other style, because Henry James used a good deal of embedding. Here I have given a definition of embedding. Embedding means whole space to the subspace. On seeing this object, you could able to understand what I would like to define. That is, the inside of an object there is in a whole space, but it is between the subface, it is in the half face. Within the half face we could find a whole space. Likewise, Henry James used the character with a good deal of embedding. So in all linguistic approaches we could find that the text will be analyzed with some style, and that style can be identified, and it is explained by Roger Fowler that a number of points on several linguistic scale. So all the literary effects has been comes under with number of several points, as all will comes under in some sort of linguistic scale. So we could make a short utterances and analyzes that respect number of linguistic features has also been seen. For example, here is a sentence, what a beautiful day. Here is a sentence like, what a beautiful day. So generally if you are telling that what a beautiful day, we could not found any differences of these sentences. When you're taking a different tone, like depending upon the tone and weather of the day, a difficult kind of stylistic significance. You might think, what will be the differences in this sentence? What a beautiful day. It is based on a tone. When we are speaking in a bilingual, for example, இன்னைக்கு நாள் எப்படி இருந்துச்சு, இன்னைக்கு நாள் எப்படி இருந்துச்சு, இன்னைக்கு நாள் எப்படி தான் இருந்துச்சோ. Likewise, we are having a different tone. When we are in a spoken language, we could found differences between a tone, and we could see about how was the day. The day was hot or cool or chill or bad or good. Likewise, depending on the tone and the weather, we could make an answer for the style of the writer for the question, how was the day? It based on situation and complexes in the literary effect. So in literature, we could found a variety of literary features like sentence, tone, weather, stress. Once again, I'm repeating: sentence, the tone, the weather of the day, the stress. All these are called as convergence. It is art of uniformity. All this called as in convergence, which is known as art of uniformity. So sentences is the major keynote of all the factors, and through the sentence we could able to learn the tone, then weather of the day. Whenever we are speaking some tones, so I feel it bad. The bad is not of a day, it means it might also known as a weather. Or stress, the stress is something which might call about the something which have to be known, or something which to be taken by the writer to the reader with a huge importance. There we could found a stress through a repetition or through a comparison or through to the convergence. So this convergence is the characteristics of all the style of a writers. This convergence has been called as an characterization of the style of the writers. The style of the writers can be explored through all the above key factors. The next stylistians, Halliday and Hassel. So these two persons use the notion of cohesion, the new terms, which is called as a together, cohering of sentences, joining together. So as like the picture symbols, he connects one to the another sentence. So such type of style is called also considered as an analysis of the writer. That is also considered as a stylistic analysis of the. Yes. Secondly, cohesive features. So cohesive features, he has brought out two types. Either it is grammatical or it is called as a lexical one. Either it is called as a grammatical or it is called as a lexical. So in the grammatical sense, we can have four types of division. The one is determinized. It is called use of words in a sentence. Next, pronouns. and thirdly demonstrative, and lastly certain adverbs. So under the determinize, that is the use of words, we could found that the authors are using, that is the writers are using different types of words which will find a different meaning and different approaches according to the base of situation, according to the base of background, according to the need of characterization. Then pronouns. The pronouns is the normal usage for the replacement of nouns. We can have a common pronouns like he, she, it. So it always defines by who that person, who is that person, whether it is Ravi, Raju, hero, heroine, or who might be it called as. Next, demonstrative. The demonstrative is called as some words or some sentence which gives an deep explanation that how the scenario or how the situation has been held, how the situation has taken place. And we can also found certain adverbs. So adverbs are called as an describing of a noun. Adverb is called as an describing of a noun on pronoun. So how that girl seems. So adverb is sometimes a replacing, adjective is a replacement of noun and pronoun, and adverb is a replacement of verb. So when she was walking or standing or sitting, how she used to walk, she walked slowly, she has sitting, she was sitting simply. So likewise they just describing the action of a sentences. So noun, pronoun, verb, adverbs are the major grammatical sense that was taken as by the writers as a style of their writing. Next, repetition of a words. So repetition of the words is used by the author to emphasize some keynotes. If he or she want to make or bring out the sense of his writing, what he has imagined to the readers, he has used the term repetition. The repetition is giving a sense of repeatedly using. Next, sequential occurrence of item. So sequential occurrence of item is some sequence or some happenings has been given by the writer again and again with as a sequential occurrences. Sequential occurrences, it might happen in chapter 1, again it will be happen in chapter 2, or again it will be brings out the beginning of the play or end of the play. Likewise, some incidents or some words or some scenarios might be brought out by the writer as a sequential occurrences in between, not continuously, it between, it like an in between. And finally, such approaches to the study of stylistics can be called as a style as a deviance, style as a convergence, and style as a result of particular exploitation of grammar of possibilities. So we have seen in series 2, we have seen n number of stylisticians and their definition to the stylistics, and they have given few examples by the literary writers how they are bringing their styles in their writing and what is the uniqueness of their writing. Likewise, we can see the deviance, convergence, and particular exploitation of grammar are the most common form of stylistics in literary text. So, hope you can have and understand the continuation part of series 2 of stylistics. Further, we will be continuing the same in the next series. Thank you so much for your listening.